Hey everyone, this is a very easy question that shows up everywhere on step one. We're gonna make sure no one gets it wrong after watching this video. So you've got a 70-year-old man that develops dense and periodic blisters on his trunk and flexural areas. Flexural areas meaning parts of the body where skin naturally folds or bends, like the knees, elbows, groin, and neck. The blisters remain intact, oral mucosa is spared, and biopsy shows linear IgG deposition along the basement membrane. Which of the following best describes this condition? So we know it's either Pemphigus vulgaris or Bullous pemphigoid. The problem being in Pemphigus vulgaris, antibodies against the desmosomes, and in both pemphigoid antibodies against the hemidesmosomes. So both of them are antibodies against something. We know this is type 2 hypersensitivity, so we can eliminate C, B, and D. For the hypersensitivities, you can remember the mnemonic that we talked about in another video. A, B, C, D. A for allergy for 1, B for the B in antibodies for type 2, C for complex for type 3, and uh, D for delayed for type 4. So that's the odd one out. This one is T cell mediated. Anyways, that's another topic for another video. Now, the difference between Pemphigus vulgaris and Bullous pemphigoid. So imagine this is a skin cell in your epidermis. It has arms and legs. Okay. And this is the basement membrane. So just think about the arms as the desmosomes so the cells can stick to each other. And think about the legs as the hemidesmosomes. So this is to anchor the cell to the basement membrane, which is the membrane between the dermis and the epidermis. So that's the problem here. Antibodies against these, like desmoglein 1 and 3, which are components of desmosomes in Pemphigus vulgaris, and antibodies against hemidesmosomes in Bullous pemphigoid. So now, if you think about it, biopsy shows linear IgD deposition along the basement membrane. What would that be? Bullous pemphigoid, because the hemidesmosomes would be along the basement membrane, right? So we know the answer is C here. But let's keep going and know all the high yield stuff about the two diseases so we get everything right whenever they mention them in questions. So the blisters remain intact. So they mean here that they could mean that Nikolsky sign is negative. So this would be more for Bullous pemphigoid. And they could describe it as tense subepidermal. So as we said here, under the epidermis, subepidermal blisters. Or for Pemphigus vulgaris, they would say flaccid intraepidermal blisters. So intraepidermal, so between the cells of the epidermis, and flaccid. So it's usually worse. That's why Nikolsky sign is positive. Means basically when you rub the skin affected, it just comes out easily. Now, the oral mucosa is spared. That's typical for both pemphigoid. When it's affected, think about Pemphigus vulgaris. And as we already said, biopsy shows linear IgG deposition along the basement membrane. That's going to be both pemphigoid. For Pemphigus vulgaris, they're going to say it shows a FishpNet-like pattern for the IgG deposition between the epidermal cells. Yeah, I think that's all you need to know for these type of questions. It's easy. Drop in the comments another type of disease that could have a positive Nikolsky sign. And thank you for watching.